Hola, buenos días a todos desde el canal de la Fundación IFSU que llamamos Meditar es Fácil y que se dedica pues a enseñar o transmitir la esencia que hay detrás de las distintas aproximaciones a lo que es, podríamos llamar, el camino espiritual. Lo hacemos a base de un mensaje diario, una práctica diaria y unas técnicas de meditación diseñadas de forma individual para que, digamos, el instrumento a través del cual percibes esta existencia funcione bien. Y estas son las técnicas de meditación. Unas prácticas espirituales que no es más que una filosofía llevada a la práctica y lo hacemos cada día en este proceso que llamamos Respuestas al Corazón. No olvidéis suscribiros y darle a la campanita para estar atentos a estos vídeos y también podéis invitar a gente a suscribirse que creáis que le gusta este canal y no sé qué más decir, que lo hacemos para ser escuchados, obviamente. Y que por lo tanto todo lo que ayudéis a que esto sea escuchado, por si a alguien le viene bien, pues bien va que va bien. Empezamos ya con el mensaje del día, que hoy estamos en el primer mes, el mes del comienzo. Estamos viendo a partir de qué partimos, y es el mes de Aries, el primer mes de la primavera, donde estamos plantando las semillas de lo que va a ser el proceso de desplegar el corazón, desplegarnos al corazón. Antes de empezar a ver esta página, cierra los ojos y deja la respiración completamente sola. Permite que los pulmones, por sí solos, se paren si se quieren parar. Inspiren si quieren inspirar. Siente lo que sientes cuando inspiras. Siente lo que sientes cuando expiras. Abre lentamente los ojos y empieza a explorar. Y la cabra loca del ego, que no es más que ese relato, es decir, hemos estado viendo que tenemos el universo. El universo es el sitio en el cual aparecemos cuando esta forma de vida nace. Esta forma de vida no nace por casualidad, sino nace fruto de un largo proceso, si quieres, evolutivo. Es decir, para que tú hayas nacido, pues han tenido que nacer tus padres, los padres de tus padres, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. Y en ese largo proceso evolutivo aparece tu relato, que está ocurriendo en mitad del relato de la existencia y en mitad de otros muchos relatos de otros como tú, seres individuales. Hemos visto que tenemos una vivencia de ser un yo y una conciencia de nuestra propia existencia, de alguna manera. Hemos visto que por un lado está lo que pensamos que es el ego, que es aquel relato con el que nos identificamos, y por otro lado está lo que es, que va más allá de cualquier relato, o si quieres, es el gran relato. Y hoy, el mensaje de hoy hace referencia a esto que decía Calderón: la vida es sueño y los sueños, sueños son. Y la pregunta es si es la vida ilusión, es la vida un sueño. Está muy de moda ahora en el no dualismo decir, este universo es ilusión, porque oye, al fin y al cabo lo que parece sólido en realidad está vacío, son electrones, átomos, es vibración. Vibración que tú estás percibiendo con tu mente, por lo tanto está todo imbricado. Y entonces, ¿es esto una ilusión? ¿Es esto un sueño? ¿Una matrix? Y bueno, hay una cosa que es una ilusión. La ilusión es el relato que tú te cuentas sobre ti y sobre lo que esto es. Porque eso, cada uno tiene un relato y por lo tanto cada uno una ilusión y por lo tanto cada uno un sueño. Y los sueños, sueños son. Os dejo ya con las palabras de Guru Rashananda Yogi del libro Respuestas al Corazón, en la voz de Elda Hidalgo.
26 de marzo. La vida como un juego. Discernir entre ilusión y realidad. ¿Es la vida sueño? ¿Es la vida un juego? ¿Puede haber ilusión sin realidad? ¿Puede haber realidad sin ilusión? Aunque hay factores de ilusión involucrados, todo esto es real. La verdadera ilusión es nuestra interpretación de las cosas, aquello en lo que ponemos el mayor énfasis. ¿Estamos poniendo el mayor énfasis en el yo real de nuestro interior o estamos poniendo el énfasis en el ego? Nuestro énfasis está en la ilusión, no en lo que existe. La vida solo se puede considerar un juego si comprendes lo que significa juego y lo que significa vida. Cuando uno piensa que la vida es un juego y al mismo tiempo satisface el ego, deja de ser un juego.
Desde el punto de vista de lo que es el relato, no es más que un juego dentro de un juego.
Jero.
Perdonar, pero se me olvidó darle al no molestar. Madre. Lo siento mucho. El juego de la vida. La vida es un juego si sabes lo que es la vida y sabes lo que es juego. Ahora, si lo dice el ego, si el ego, para procurar sus propios deseos de sobrevivir y de perpetuarse en su relato, entonces la vida no es un juego. Entre otras cosas porque el ego no sale vivo de este juego. Y por lo tanto, desde el punto de vista del ego, no es un juego, porque no va a salir vivo de este juego. Desde el punto de vista de lo que eres en realidad, aquello que ni nació ni murió, y que no cambia y que siempre ha existido ahí, que está en ti y todo a tu alrededor. Lo que pasa que es más fácil encontrarlo dentro de ti, y en cuanto lo encuentras o vislumbras dentro de ti, inmediatamente lo empiezas a percibir todo a tu alrededor. Eso es de lo que va el camino o el proceso de el desplegar espiritual. Ahora está muy de moda el no dualismo. He estado últimamente oyendo a vídeos de Rafa Millán y Mardia, que no recuerdo el apellido, pero son dos buenos discípulos sufís, discípulos de Maulana, que fue un sufí, un maestro sufí, que murió. De los muchos maestros que han nacido en el siglo XX, ellos se les ve personas muy devocionadas a este maestro. Y hablan mucho del camino del corazón, y cuando llegan es cuando expresan esa devoción. Por lo tanto, ese no dualismo, que habla de solo uno, el pequeño ego no se puede, solamente se puede rendir al otro con O mayúsculas. El otro con O mayúsculas no puede ser una fórmula matemática. Hombre, si eres matemático a lo mejor te produce esa devoción. Tiene que ser una representación, una concretización de esa conciencia que es inherente e inmanente en la manifestación, porque la conciencia no acaba donde acaba tu piel. En todo caso, y como práctica para hoy, que es domingo, he preparado un satsang de Guru Raj donde habla de estos temas y da claves muy importantes que, si lo escucháis con detenimiento, os servirá para que nos vayamos aclarando con el punto de partida del que empezamos. Hemos nacido a esta existencia con un relato, venimos con un relato, cada día, el de hoy, el que nos contemos hoy, pero en todo caso ese relato es fruto de muchos relatos previos, es una forma de hablar, de muchas experiencias previas. Hemos aparecido en un trocín de este planeta y nos hemos relacionado con cachines muy pequeños de este planeta que está dentro de un sistema solar, que está dentro de una galaxia donde hay millones de estrellas y billones de planetas, que está en un universo con billones de galaxias, y hemos aparecido lo que se dice pasa por aquí, en tiempo universal y en espacio universal, vamos, nada. Y sin embargo, en esa pequeñita cosa está todo escrito, es como los algoritmos estos de Mandelbrot, esos algoritmos que la totalidad está en la parte todo el rato. La totalidad está en la parte también en tus células. Todas tus células tienen todos tus genes. Luego cada célula de tu cuerpo tiene la totalidad y por eso funcionan en totalidad y crean un uno. Lo mismo que pasa con tu cuerpo, pasa con este universo nuestro. Y esa manifestación es lo que nosotros consideramos o llamamos el Dios personal. Y al Dios personal nos relacionamos a través de él concretizándolo, y ya esos son factores culturales, lo puedes concretizar en el profeta Mohammed, lo puedes concretizar en Krishna, en la mente de Buda, en Jesús o en una montaña incluso. Por ejemplo, Raman Maharshi, un gran sabio y yogi del siglo XX, lo había concretizado en la montaña de Arunachala. Pero lo importante no es en qué lo concretizas, sino la devoción que te genera y que te impulsa a que esa energía del corazón supere las discrepancias de la mente y pueda brillar a través de ella. Os dejo ya con este satsang, que es la práctica de hoy. Escuchar detenidamente, solamente escuchando, sin pensar en lo que dice, dejándote penetrar por las palabras. Este bello satsang.
Beloved Guruji, this question is in the form of a riddle. I am that which causes awareness to flow from the grossness of the lower mind to the undifferentiated bliss of the superconscious. I am not the mind, but upon me the mind rests. I do not move, yet through me all things move. I am neither this nor that. What am I?
Bullshit. Anandam param sukham, anandam param sukham, anandam param sukham. That you are. Who am I if I am not the mind? Who am I if I'm not the body? Now what makes you presume that you are not the body and not the mind? What point of reference have you to tell you that I am not the mind and neither the body? Show me that point of reference. When I say to myself, I am that I am, who is this that I am that I am? Who is this Brahmasmi? I am Brahma. Who is this that could say, I and my Father are one? Who is this that could say that I, as the mind and body, is non-existent? Then what part of you is existent to make you cognize your non-existence? You don't know. That is for sure. If I said bullshit. Your mind is a reality. Your body is a reality, and the spiritual self within you is a reality, but it is only the mind that could cognize its own realness, which is also at the same time erroneous. You say, I am this body. Now this body has been changing so much. When I was an infant, like a little baby there, then I grew up into adolescence, became an old man. I'm not too old, really. So, this body is the same body, but over a period of time, which you regard to be time, has gone through various changes. Like putting on a little meditational tummy, or whatever. So my reality lies in my body, and my reality lies in my mind, but who is that which perceives this particular form of reality? The spirit that is within you, the divinity that is within you, is non-cognizable, and neither would it cognize anything besides itself in its own cognition. In other words, the spirit cannot cognize itself, and neither can it recognize itself. So, the mind says this is a handkerchief. Why does the mind say that this is a handkerchief? Might as well use it. Why does the mind say that this is a handkerchief? Because my mind, or certain recollections or experiences that has gone through me in this lifetime, or even in past lifetimes perhaps, make me cognize this to be a cloth, a piece of cloth to be used on my nose. Now, where does this come from? What tells you that this is a nose and that's a handkerchief? So you go further back, all the time. Because once you recognize the nose and you recognize the handkerchief, you still got to go further to ask yourself the question that who is saying that this is a handkerchief and this is a nose? Who is saying that? And when you find yourself saying that my mind is saying that, then you will ask yourself what perpetuates this mind in this mode of having this particular kind of cognition. And like that you go on and on and on until you reach a point which is zero. Then only can you say, I am not the body. Then only can you say, I am not the mind. And when you say, I am not the body and I am not the mind, there again you go on and on and on, asking yourself, who is saying this? That I am not the body. Look, I can touch, feel, smell, taste, go to bed and make love, go to the toilet. Is the body then not functional? Of course it is functional. Then why do I deny the body? I deny the body because I feel within myself, or rather some force is feeling within myself that I am far beyond the body and the mind. Now the greatest mistake that has been made or is being made by various theologies is the denial of the body and mind. Let's look at it from a different angle. Do not deny this body. Do not deny this mind. And do not deny that which cognizes the body and the mind. So, how are you dealing with yourself then? We're still going to come to the cognitive factor. But at this moment, how do you stand? You stand in the position of saying my body exists, my mind exists, and the cognitive factor also exists, so therefore I am existence, and being existing, I can deny nothing, for I am that I am. Now, let's perform some operations. Any volunteers? I'll cut you up into pieces. I'll put your body there, your mind there, and your cognitive self there. Get hold of a knife for me, please. There is no differentiation between your body and your mind and your cognitive self. The I that cognizes the very existence of this body and this mind is thought forms, which we can call the ego self, that is forever trying to preserve itself in the cognitive factors of saying, I am this handsome guru. That I am this brilliant brain and the spiritual giant. Who's saying that? that stupid ego self. Now, what is the ego worth? The ego is worth nothing because it is just a formation of patterns which you have superimposed upon yourself through the various experiences that you have gone through, and that has left impressions. And those impressions is that which we call the ego. Now, I put my hand on this table and I remove this hand. But an imprint is there. So the hand is not there anymore. But an impression or an imprint of the hand is existing on this table. Get out your magnifying glass and you'll see it. What reality is there in this imprint? This very imprint that cognizes me as a body, this very imprint that cognizes me as a mind. So my body and mind is totally dependent upon that imprint. And yet, what is the reality of this imprint? Nil. It's an impression created through patternings of experiences. So now, if I deny this imprint, or if I do not attach value to this imprint in bringing about the recognitions of the existence of this body and this mind, then I am basing to the soup. So, after these dinners, when it comes to embassies and things, I've been to many of them, so I know, some of the people present there are required to give a speech, say a few words. So quite a few had to say something. And then the turn came where the chairman or the MC or whatever you want to call it, WC, and to me it doesn't matter. You're right. Had to get up and said, called upon this Chinese gentleman to ask him to say a few words. And this Chinese gentleman gave a beautiful talk filled with wit and wisdom. So, as he was sitting down amidst this wonderful applause, he turns to this Englishman and he says, "You like his speaking?" Yes. So I, with something that has no substance, but which has just created an impression there, presumes that this mind and this body is real. So now, what have we done so far? We are accepting the reality of the mind and the body, and at the same time, we are denying the mind and the body. Because both are true. You are not the body, yet the body. You are not the mind, yet the mind. Then what is your reality? And how are you going to prove this reality to stupid scientists? I beg your pardon, Dr. Wienstein. how are we going to prove it? We can only prove it by inference, or by the very factor that reality requires no proof. It exists because of its own existence. The only time you can prove reality is when you have a reference point. And if you do not find a reference point, and where can there be any reference point as far as divinity is concerned? So, existence proves itself by its very existence. Can you see the air that you are breathing now? But you're conscious of the factor that you are breathing. Conscious, or perhaps non-conscious of it. There's no such thing as unconscious. Non-conscious and conscious. I wish I can get hold of Jung. I'll know what I'll do to him. Castrate him. There is consciousness and non-consciousness. Non-consciousness means you are not aware. And consciousness means that you are aware. Now, what proof is there of awareness? Does awareness require any proof? Does the light burning there require any proof that it is burning? Its very act of giving light is its own proof. And that the stupid scientists don't want to admit. So, we come to the point of asking ourselves that does everything in life require to be proved? No. You do not need to prove anything, because when it comes to the highest level, you need a point of reference, and the highest level being the one, without a second, cannot have a reference point. I exist. I exist because I exist. That's all. And because I, the real me, to which I have no reference point, exists, I can only refer it back to a grosser level of the mind and the body, which finds its existence in that which I cannot prove is existing. So, I'm taking the highest factor of life and bringing it down to the grossest factor and defying the grossness of the grossest factor to that level. And that is what I could compare things with. But when we reach the point beyond comparison, comparison, beautiful word. You're pairing up things in comparison. There has to be two to compare. But what if I want to exist as I am, in my full totality? Then will I not lose the idea of comparing myself to anything else? And the very moment I lose the idea of comparing myself to any subject or object, that is the very moment when I will lose the ego self, that imprint that is existing in my experience, or the impression of the experience. And then where would I be? I shall be incomparable. I shall be the source of existence itself, which I am. Not in reality, but in actuality. For reality changes from day to day. What is real to you today might be unreal to you tomorrow. But when I become actual, when I become the source and recognize that source within me, all the source recognizes itself, then I will say, let me enjoy this body, let me enjoy this mind, for it is a product of a collection of impressions. And if they are there, let me make the best use of it. So here we are fusing two factors. The fusion lies in the fact that that which is created by impression or maya or illusion is brought into reality, and the reality is converted into illusion. So, I make the best of both worlds. If at this very moment I feel like getting up and embracing you, I'll do it. And there's no force or power in this world that's going to stop me. But I'm not going to be attached by any impression. For example, let's see what example we can use. Say I loved a woman very much. I was deeply involved with that woman. Fine. And she's left me. She's jilted me or died or whatever, or jumped in the lake. Now, is she there or is she not there? She's dead, we know. But is she there or is she not there? She is there because you think she's there. What makes you think she is there is because those impressions, those experiences, and you are reliving something so far in the past, which has no reality today, which has become an illusion because she is not there. I have developed a dependency upon her when she was there. So what am I living on now? On dependencies. Now, should I, as a man or a woman or whatever, not get rid of those memories, those impressions? Should I not start a different life in such a way that automatically those impressions will be obliterated? Now, if this would happen to me, I'll go out and find myself a beautiful girlfriend. That's for sure. Because I have my physical needs, as I need to go, because everything is biological, as I need to go to the bathroom. I need food to eat to sustain this body. I need some comfort. I need peering, looking deeply and floating away, melting away in my beloved's eyes. For I am existing with a reality, which is my body and my mind. Though in essence it is unreal, but for the moment of 70 years and 10, let me do the best with it I can. Why not? Who could deny me that right? And why should it be denied to me? Do you think all these organs we have are there just for the fun of it or for the show of it? You think I have ears and I must not hear, or I have eyes and I must not see, or a nose and not smell, or any other organ of my body that has been there, created through an evolutionary process and not to be used? Why should I not use every organ in this body of mine to its fullest value, honestly and sincerely? Not lustfully or selfishly. You see, so these guys come over, these monks, with all their monkey business, and say, become celibates, become this, become that, become this, and I don't know what all. I say, become yourself. Be yourself. You agree with me, Professor? Be yourself. How can I make myself be myself? How can I make myself be myself? And the answer to that riddle is so simple. Do you know that beautiful hymn, which I like very much? Lead thou me on, kindly light. One step at a time is enough for me. Don't you know that beautiful hymn? What's wrong with the Americans? Lead thou me on, kindly light. For one step at a time is enough for me. Like that it goes on. We'll try and find it in some psalm book. It's very beautiful. It's my favorite hymn. Right, I forgot the words because I've absorbed the meaning. There's your secret. Absorb and forget that which is extraneous. Why load yourself up with the words? But once you've absorbed the essence, you don't need the words. What can I do to make myself into what I want to be? Firstly, I must admit to myself that I'm living a fragmented life. Part of my mind is pulling that way, part of my mind is pulling that way, part of my mind is floating up there in Chicago, and another part in somewhere, some heaven or some hell, or all over the show, which has no existence in reality. For if my wife dies tomorrow, I don't even want to know where the hell she is. I'm sure she'll be in heaven, because she goes through hell with me. And it's no job looking after a guru. Nevertheless, besides the point. Admit to oneself that I am fragmented. Lead thou me on kindly light to integration, away from fragmentation. Let me be whole. Let me function in this life holistically. Let me not find any more the discriminatory factors between body, mind, and spirit. Let me regard it to be one continuum. And this continuum, after finding through spiritual practices and meditation, when you find this continuum of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, this continuum will extend and develop so much that the entire universe becomes you and you become the universe. So then, what importance would dear Lata assume in my life? She was part of my existence for a certain period of time. We served each other well, we did the best for each other, and the body had to drop away, so it dropped away. What can I do about it? Am I going to mope about it all the time and make this little life that I've got left, I don't know how long I'm going to live, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and make those few years that are ahead of me into a living hell and a misery? Because every thought you think in a miserable way is definitely going to affect the one that I have loved. And that is not here with me. So I am doing her a disservice. I'm not doing her a favor. Because my misery, while she is in a different dimension. Yes, so existence and non-existence. What am I going to do about it? I'm both. I am existing, and at the same time, the impressions which I am existing upon is non-existent. So here, someone I love had to depart through no fault of mine. I've done my best. So has she. So what I'm going to do about it? Mope, get myself into a mental tizzy, and become dizzy. like this guy, you know, in circuses you have the cannonball, the human cannonball. You have it in this country? Mm-hmm. Right, so he goes to a bar. In England we call it a pub. What do you call it here? Bar. Yeah, so he goes to this bar and, you know, he was having a few, and he met someone sitting next to him and they started chatting. And so this fellow asks him, what do you do? He says, I'm a human cannonball. Right. And I've come to the bar to get loaded. So, let me tell you this, that 99.999% of your problems in your mind are self-created without any damn substance. So that which you have created without substance, a very easy way out of it, pull the chain. That is the secret of life. Forget the past, it is gone. Do not project yourself into the future, it might not be there, but live for this moment only. Live for this moment. And then you preserve your physical health, you preserve your mental health, you become integrated mind, body and spirit, and you'll enjoy life. For life is joy. So, as I always say, enjoy the joy. Why deny yourself of that beautiful joy of this so-called existence, when you can have fun? And what's wrong with fun? Try it. But be honest and sincere. That's important. If I should kiss you, I don't know which one, I would be doing it with total honesty and sincerity and without any thought of lust. Because in that peck on your cheek or wherever, I've been imparting to you something that you need, and to change your entire lifestyle and make you appreciate that which you think is suffering, and change it in such a way, very sweetly and beautifully. That's the way we function.
Y con esto ya acabamos el mensaje del día de hoy, que como sabéis, la práctica de hoy es escuchar muy atentamente este satsang y no sacar ninguna conclusión, simplemente vamos a dejar que esas ideas de momento las digerimos, nos las escuchamos, pues a lo largo de este proceso de respuestas al corazón, poco a poco las iremos digiriendo y asimilando. Y nada más, que paséis un muy muy bonito día. Namaste.